Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Church of Evanston. Whether this is your spiritual home or you are newly discovering this community, we're grateful to share this time together. We strive to be an inclusive and welcoming community seeking truth and love and nurturing the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us is worthy of love and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. We come together to remember our kinship with one another and to hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention, and to dedicate ourselves more fully to living our shared values. Welcome to those joining us online. We hope you have your chalices ready. People of all ages are a welcome and important part of our faith community. We are blessed to have the children in the sanctuary for the first half of every service, and the entire service is for all ages about once a month. Today, this morning. The nest in the front is our designated area for families with young children, where we have quiet fidget toys, and activities, and a kid-friendly order of service. We encourage our parents and caregivers in the nest to help support our youngest members of the community to participate in the service in an engaged way. Nursery care is available every Sunday in room 11 in the lower level, which you can access by the stairs at the back of the sanctuary, and the service is streamed to the lobby if you need to step out for any reason. Our soul work table on the east wall has handiwork and fidgets anyone can use at any time during the service. As part of being a welcoming and inclusive community, we have some information posted on the screen that will help orient you to UCE and our service. A few announcements. Do you love to play with toddlers and hold babies? If so, and you're 12 years and older, you can be on the list to help with childcare for occasional Sundays and other special events. Email Kathy Underwood if interested. The Community Singing Circle is back today after the service in room 3 with Megan Eberhardt leading us in an informal singing experience. All songs will be taught orally on the spot. Don't get nervous. Experienced and non-experienced singers, including children accompanied by an adult, are welcome. Please note that our annual meeting is on Sunday, May 17th, immediately after the worship service. All voting members are asked to attend in person if possible, or on Zoom. You should have received your annual meeting packet by way of email on Friday, April 17th. Please look for that and let us know if you don't find it. We will be voting as a congregation on our 2026-27 budget, the slate of candidates for elected office, and on whether or not to change our bylaws to reflect a new name, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Evanston. And now, with the help of Mr. Need-A-Hug, who is the first creature we put out on the table as rummage is being set up, because everybody needs a hug through the process. We have our post-rummage sale announcement from Jillian Lawrence.
Good morning, everyone. All right. My printer was on the fritz, so I had to make do. All right. Thanks. As Ellie mentioned, my name is Jillian Lawrence, and some of you may remember me and my esteemed rummage sale co-chair, Jenny Walsh, from a few weeks ago when we were up here with props that included a taco hat and our giant stuffed bear, Mr. Need-A-Hug. We want to thank everyone who contributed to the amazing success of this year's rummage sale, which wrapped up yesterday. That's why my voice is a little hoarse. So there were 4 goals of the sale, and I'm happy to report that we met every one of them. Now I'll give you more details. All right, so first, we made new connections with community members, and I know we have several folks who came for the sale or came to volunteer and left interested in joining our community. Yes. Second, we reduced our environmental impact by encouraging reuse of hundreds of items, probably thousands of items, and I think what felt like millions of items at several moments. Third, our UCE community connections grew with new volunteers and veteran volunteers connecting over shared labor and lunchtime breaks. And I do want to take a moment to recognize everyone who contributed to our sale this year. I am going to ask to please hold your applause until the end of when I've listed all these things. So if you contributed in any of the following ways, please stand, or if you're tired, raise your hand and keep it raised. All right, if you led a department, publicity, setup, or teardown. Okay. Provided or served lunch for our volunteers. Okay. Helped sort and price donations. Wonderful. Okay. Helped with lobby support, cashiering, counting, or support team. Okay. Donated items or baked goods or money, or helped publicize the sale within your network. All right, look around. Thank you all so much. This was such an amazing outpouring of love and service, and this leads me to our 4th goal. Together, we significantly exceeded our fundraising goal by raising over $30,000 to help fund our mission. Yay! Congratulations to everyone, and thank you again. And remember, it is never too early to put a box in your closet to start collecting next year's donations. Thank you all so much.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Jillian and Jenny. And now, let us settle in together, gather our attention, and share this time of reflection, celebration, and inspiration. As we begin our worship service, let's quiet our electronics and our bodies as we join in beloved community. Welcome to worship. Please rise in body or spirit to sing Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Rejoice.
Now it's a party. The Unitarian Church of Evanston was built on land that was recorded as being transferred from the local Potawatomi community to the U.S. government in 1829, shortly before the Potawatomi in this area were forcibly removed west of the Mississippi River. This land was then sold to white settlers. We remember the ancestors of contemporary African Americans, the individuals, families, and networks of Black people who built up our country's culture and economy, a role forced on them originally by enslavement. We acknowledge the impacts of the intentional violence of the Middle Passage and enslavement, which echo through the generations and remain a reality today. We offer these acknowledgments as one small effort toward building long-term solidarity with contemporary communities. We commit ourselves to incorporate these admissions into our lives and turn our thoughts into actions. Please join in our words of shared commitment. We name these realities with honor for all the ancestors, respect for our descendants, and gratitude for the land we use as sacred space. The family ministry team brought the flowers in celebration of the multi-generational community we continue to build. They invite all families to light the chalice with them. As they light our chalice, symbol of our living tradition, please join in saying the words on the screen. We seek our place in the world and the answers to our heart's deep questions. As we seek, may our hearts be open to unexpected answers. May the light of our chalice remind us that this is a community of warmth, of wisdom, and welcoming of much.
Good morning. There we go. I get to do the job Eileen usually gets to do and come over by the nest and see if anyone wants to help in leading our covenant. We have one volunteer. You want to come up? You want to come up? We're going to come up this way. I know you have to be in front of people. It's kind of scary. It's okay. Come on. If you want to stand on steps or do you want to just sit? Do you know how to read? So please rise.
Please rise with the body of our spirit as we say, and word of our government. Love is the spirit.
Thank you. So before we sing our hymn, yes, we will have some time to greet. Yes, I invite everyone online to say hello in the chat, and those gathered in the sanctuary to turn to someone you may not know and greet one another. Please remain risen, if you are already risen. And before we sing our hymn, I want to encourage anyone who is feeling new to this community to visit our welcome table at the back of the sanctuary. It's the one with the red tablecloth over it. And everyone is invited to stay after worship to continue conversations and enjoy some cake. Yes, I said cake, in honor of our faith formation leaders this year and those who have helped guide not just our little kids, but our adults on their faith journeys. There will also be an informal circle in the back sanctuary to my right, where you can have some conversation. There will be chairs pulled into a circle. So let us continue to create new relationships and build kinship with one another. So we will open with singing number 1020, Wo Ya Ya. There, that's better. All right. Well, every story starts with once upon a time, right? There was a terrible illness that swept the land, and the people had to stay inside to keep away from the germs. Most adults couldn't go to work, and kids couldn't go to school. Darn. At first, it was kind of fun to be virtual. After all, you could wear a nice shirt with your pajama bottoms at school and work, and it was the new version of the mullet style. You know, business in the front, party in the back, right? People had to find new ways of doing things during this time, not just school and work, but even church. Good. Luckily, they had some very talented people. If anybody wants to come up and help hold props, feel free to come up. And come over here by the... Yeah, maybe come over to my left so everybody can see who you're holding up. So they had all these talented people to keep church happening, even though they couldn't be in person. And this worked really well for the grown-ups, but not so much for the kids. After all, who would want to sit in front of a screen for church after sitting in front of one all week long for school, right? It It was a challenging time with many people getting sick and learning how to be careful around others so they wouldn't get sick too. And this lasted for a year and a half. And so, a group of people decided to do what adults usually do best. They talk, and they formed a committee, actually a task force, that would explore how they could do church differently. And they were curious about what they wanted for their community when they could be back together. So they did surveys and had lots of meetings and talked to many people and came up with an idea to try for the time when they could get into person again. Eventually, they were able to go back out and be with other people, and when that time came, the people were overjoyed. Be happy, be happy. Right? They could see their friends again and do things together and even go back to church. The task force was already with a new plan, and everyone was excited, and things went so well for a while. It wasn't perfect, but they were experimenting and learning from trial and error. Some things worked well and some things didn't. I'm sure you've all had an opportunity in your life where something just didn't go the way you planned, right? And how did that make you feel? Me, I get frustrated. Fortunately, the people felt good about themselves for trying this new experiment and wanted to take time to think about it more. So they did what adults do best. They talked and had more meetings and talked to others to find out what they thought too. It turned out they wanted the same things that they had wanted before, to build their church community to be welcoming, no matter their age, size, color, and gender. They wanted opportunities to learn and grow in their faith and to help each other. They wanted to help build a world made whole. Oh. And so, they began to build one block at a time. Thank you all for helping.
Well, that was weird. To see my face. I wasn't expecting that, Kathy. Very clever. Very clever and fun. You do. That was good. That was very clever. One of the ways that we build community is through the sharing of our joys and our sorrows. So I invite us to settle into a time of quiet reflection as we share them among us and hold them with care. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you would like spoken aloud from the pulpit, you can write it in this book, which is found at the table just as you enter the sanctuary. You can email me or Reverend Susan, or you can fill out the form found on the homepage of our website. We listen to these offerings with tenderness and respect, and so let us quiet our bodies and our voices and our minds as best we can during this sacred time by breathing in together. Let's take in one deep breath and let it out. These are the joys and sorrows that have been shared today. A joy from Kristen Larson that on June 9th, Michael Takata is being recognized as a 2026 Outstanding Community Leader by the Chicago Cultural Alliance, honoring his legacy and decade of leadership as the Japanese Association's Service Club's CEO from 2014 to 2024. So much congratulations. We're so honored and proud to have you among us, Mike. A bunch of gratitude for the rummage sale, which we already heard, but in particular from Judy Holman, a huge thank you to all the jewelry gems who came, sorted, arranged, and conquered the mountain of jewelry we received. Could not have done it without you, without your tenacity and good cheer. Well done. And again, a congratulations to Jillian Lawrence and Jenny Walsh. Yeah. For organizing such a great sale. A big shout out to all of the volunteers who donated so much of their time to make the sale a success. And I'm still kind of on a high from the good feeling, the good community building, which to me is the best part of the whole sale. Mary Dudek shares gratitude for all the ways we supported May Day Strong, and with hope that we can stay strong for the struggle ahead. And Stephen Baxa writes, Happy International Workers' Day, with huge joy for the labor demonstrations nationwide, including the Chicagoland area. Being part of the picket line for the UIC grad workers on strike and marching with like-minded groups was rejuvenating for the spirit and soul. May we one day build our power towards a general strike. Amen. Yes. And finally, a sorrow from Kevin O'Reilly, Len Strazewski, a dear friend of the Reverend Elizabeth Harding and her husband Kevin O'Reilly and their family, died Monday night after months of serious illness. So sorry. Sharing these concerns of the heart is part of how we practice beloved community here. Together we expand our celebrations and we lessen the burden of our grief. You are invited to come forward either to this table or to one of the side tables to light a candle for a joy or a sorrow that's on your heart that may be too tender to speak aloud, or you may drop a stone in the well of tears. If you would like a candle brought to you, please raise your hand. And as we light the candles, as we do with love, we start at the center and we move out. Thank you. these joys, we give our thanks, and for these sorrows, we give our love. Announcement was missed this morning, so I'm going to insert that here, that there is a Beltane celebration this afternoon that you are all invited to out on the lawn. Please join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life and love, source of mystery, creator of questions, we are grateful for this community and this faith, which affirm our questions and encourage our wonderings together. We are grateful for life's rich complexity unfolding in every moment. Guide us, love, to be collaborative co-creators, to be builders in that unfolding. Help us to navigate the challenges of our times and move in partnership with those who fight for liberation. Help us to make the world more beautiful, just, and free. We hold our prayers for the peace, well-being, and safety of all who are suffering and struggling. We hold the prayers of our hearts for those who are sick, grieving, and lonely. We pray for every person, for every land that lives with violence, that they may flourish instead. May these prayers of our hearts expand and collect into actions that create true peace and well-being for each other. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings know peace. Our sung response is number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
As we say in our covenant each Sunday, service is our law. UCE is called by our mission, values, and principles to contribute to our community, to form accountable partnerships, and to express gratitude through giving. Today's offering will be shared with Children's Best Interest Project. Please welcome Lady Celia Colon, one of the advisory board members, who will speak about this important organization.
Good morning, everyone. Honored to be here. My name is Lady Celia Colon. I am a member of the Children's Best Interest Project Advisory Board member and the CEO and founder of Giving Others Dreams. We're a reentry training and healing center. I used she and her pronouns. The Children's Best Interest Act requires Illinois courts to consider children's needs in decisions about their parents, but it's underused. Parent and children separation causes lasting harm to children's health and development. Yet thousands of parents are unnecessarily removed from their families and communities each year based on minor criminal charges. The Children's Best Interest Act project educates Illinois families, organizations, and lawyers about this act. They work with families to create strong family impact statements for the court. They help win dismissal or reduction of charges and keep parents at home with their children, maintain family stability, enhance community safety. In cases that work directly with the project, we have won 186 years of time saved so far. So parents can be at home with their children. When we protect children by supporting mothers and families, keeping families together, we're not just preserving community stability, but we are preserving community safety. We stop trauma that rips through families and communities for generations to come. With this act, we are protecting and nurturing the next generation of leaders. We deeply appreciate your support so we can continue to do this life-saving work and to prevent childhood trauma everywhere, educate the public, and win restorative sentencings for mothers and families across our state. Thank you so much for your support. Me and Gail will be in the back to answer any questions, and we're always looking for volunteers to make our world a safer place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lady Celia. You may text to give, mail in a check, put cash in the collection bowls, or give from our website. If you write a check, please indicate in the memo line if your check is for the shared offering or some other giving. The ushers will now come forward to pass the collection bowls down the rows. Please give as generously as you are able, and may what you give bring you joy. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity, and Taylor for your beautiful music. The reading today is by the Reverend Sarah Goodman. Remember when I told you about anxiety and its opposite? No, the opposite of anxiety is not calm. It's not confidence. The opposite of anxiety is curiosity. Anxiety is worrying, oh no, what is going to happen? And curiosity is, oh wow, I wonder what could happen. It might be tempting to imagine what might happen. It might be tempting to look at the past and imagine that we know what the future might bring. It might be tempting to imagine that the future is set and that we can't do anything from here. But we can't know what's going to happen in the days and weeks ahead. We can turn our anxious brains away from imagining the catastrophes it wants to focus on and instead start to be curious. What could happen if things go well? Instead of imagining impending doom, we can imagine how we can hold each other in the chaos. Instead of remembering an awful day years ago, maybe we can remember how we reached out for each other in the early days of lockdown, bringing food, meeting in parks and on porches with our neighbors and friends. We can imagine a world transformed. Please rise in body or spirit and be very curious as to why on earth someone brought a banjo. You're going to help us sing the Curiosity Song, and we have a fantastic family who's going to help you specifically with the letter O, which is part of the song. But I'll coach you through this very simple chorus, and you're just going to answer back the first two lines. I love to learn, I love to learn, I love to know. Curiosity helps me grow. Oh, 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 it helps me grow. Let's try again. I love to learn, I love to grow. So, curiosity helps me grow. Oh, 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 it helps me grow. Why do stars shine up so high? Why do birds sing and clouds drip by? I ask the world, it tells me why. Because I love to learn, I love to know. Curiosity helps me grow. Oh, 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 it helps me grow. Why does the moon glow soft and round? How do trees grow up from the ground? I find the answers all around. I love to learn, I love to know. Curiosity helps me grow. Oh, 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 it helps me grow. What's under the sea? What's under the sky? I'll keep on wondering till I find out why. I love to learn, I love to know. Curiosity helps me grow. Oh, 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 it helps me grow. We love to learn, we love to know. Curiosity helps me grow. Oh, 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 it helps me grow.
That oh, oh, oh is going to stick in my mind now. Oh, what a great song. So, one of the things that makes Unitarian Universalism unique is that it's a living tradition. It continuously is growing, evolving, and adapting over time as an organism of its own. And yet it's made up of 200,000 plus or minus people who are also growing, evolving, and adapting individually and collectively. It is through curiosity and questioning that our faith changes as it weaves in and out through our lives over time. It calls us to ask questions and embody curiosity about the world and our place in it. And it calls us to be open to others and to invite them to join us on that journey. In continuing this morning's story, we began rebuilding our community with the little blocks over here as we returned to worshiping in person after the pandemic. We asked everyone to be curious about our future and what we wanted our living tradition to look and feel like here at UCE. In our faith formation service that Sunday, we asked 2 questions, which will be up on the screen. There we go. What do we need to add to our foundation to make UCE a place for all to grow in their UU faith? And then what can you do to help build this? Those who were present wrote their answers on a wooden block. And I'm kind of wondering what they wrote, which we are about to find out. Oof. Our big reveal, drum roll if you would like. There's a sampling of the many blocks that were created that day. So to the first question, what do we need to add to make UCE a place for all to grow in their faith? The responses had 2 basic themes. First was community, no surprise. To create a place where all feel safe and can be true to themselves and are welcomed. In particular, though, families with children were mentioned, and youth, young adults, people of color, and people with different abilities. The second theme was faith formation, opportunities for us to connect across ages and generations, ways that we can share and engage in conversations to challenge our belief and thinking, build interfaith understanding and relationships, and take action on our UU values. Do you remember JETPIG? J, justice, E, equity, transformation, pluralism, interconnected. I forgot the last one. G, generosity. I had to think about JETPIG there for a second. Yeah, good job. So to the first question, we did JETPIG. So it's been about 5 years since we went through this, and the question I have for you today is, are we on the right track? How have we been doing on these endeavors? Yeah. So, next slide, please. First, looking at community, I guess we have to go back. Sorry, Adam. Yeah, there you go, thank you. To create a place where we feel safe and all. I'm inviting you now to turn to a neighbor, whether next to you or behind you or in front of you, and just spend half a minute or so sharing what ways do you feel, or maybe you don't feel, we have connected and made community using these rubrics that were created 5 years ago. And first, how are we feeling about how we're connected and with young children or young adults. So take a minute to share with a neighbor, and I'll ring a chime when it's time to stop. Look at the, I don't know where the chime is. Did you see a little chime? Good job. The next on our second question, we will do the same thing, turn to a neighbor and share our thoughts. Adam, if you can go to the next slide again, sorry. There, oh, there you go. Oh. I'll go back and I'll say it out loud. On faith formation. Have we made opportunities to connect across ages and generations to share and grow in our UU faith and to build relationships in the greater community, multi-faith connections? How do you feel about this? Do you feel like we're connecting? Feel free to turn to the same neighbor or a different neighbor and share your thoughts on how we are doing with that. Thank you all for sharing. And I should have mentioned that those online could share in the chat. My bad. So I would invite it, if anybody would like to share one thing that they shared with their partner or neighbor, Allie would be willing to bring a microphone around. We'll just hear a few comments. We don't want to drag this out. But if you want to share something that you really felt strongly about, raise your hand. Bless you.
Hi, I got this idea from a new member that I was talking to recently who would be so grateful if there were opportunities like what Eileen and Gray did recently to provide time and space for parents to be able to have an evening off, you know, to have people, you know.
All the parents are like,
yeah. If we could have a cadre of people who could team up to occasionally provide, uh, uh, that opportunity for people to just take off, maybe just to stay home by themselves, you know?
Up front, yeah.
We were talking about like more board game nights and like dance parties because it's really easy and like really fun. You just put some like music on and you put board games out and you just like have fun like at night. And it's very multi-generational and like everyone can have fun.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is my first time here. So as a visitor, beautiful church, love the energy. One of the things that stood out to me, I'm also indigenous, so honoring the sacred space in this land meant a lot to me. And then I was just sharing with Gail that the way you guys honor earth, right, as we do with the elements of earth, wind, water, and air means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you. One more.
I haven't been going here very long, but I was very pleased in the past few years to see more families and children. I'm just excited to see that, more young people.
Definitely. One more. Martha.
Building on what Jeanette said, seeing children entertaining us in the front, singing to us, getting us to sing with them, and also seeing all the children that helped with the rummage sale.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Thank you all for sharing. We could go on, but yeah, time is of the essence now. And in recognizing that you may not be comfortable sharing, I invite you to come speak to one of the ministers or any of the staff to share any other thoughts or concerns you might have. So, moving along, now I wonder, our second question had been, what could we do to build this? And that's the second slide. And the number one answer was participate. Did you see how many people stood up about the rummage sale? I mean, yeah. So participate, yes. Second was volunteer. Yes, your time, talents, treasures, you know the story. So do you feel like you are doing a good job in that? Just think to yourself. You don't have to say anything to your neighbor. How you feel about whether you're participating and showing up and volunteering. And then connecting with people, building relationships, very important. All right. And understanding that no community is perfect, not even here. We try. It's still important that we give serious thought to how we might do better at connecting, participating, and volunteering. Now, as we get ready to close, Gregory is going to play us some lovely music, and I am going to invite you, if you feel moved to do so. There are baskets of blocks and some little colored Sharpie markers, and we're going to add to what we started building 5 years ago, but with new ideas to the question, which is on the screen. What one thing will I do, each person individually, to help build beloved community across the generations? So as Gregory plays, I invite you to write the one thing you think you can do to help make that happen. And if you would like to bring your block up and add to our sculpture, we'll have to move the baskets. I invite you to come forward, or if you want Allie or maybe Finn or Juliana to bring your block up, they can do that. So, Gregory. Thank you. That's fine. feel free to keep coming up as I close things out. All these actions that we just wrote on these blocks are important aspects of our faith formation, no matter how old you are. The purpose of faith formation is to shape and strengthen our UU identity within and among each of us at every age and stage of life, so that we can build the beloved community that the world needs. It's a lifelong endeavor that requires the support of this community and is centered in love and a community that we are all part of. May it be so. And before we extinguish our chalice, I have a brief video slideshow for you to see of some of the actions that we've had in our faith formation program and in the congregation. And Gregory will play along with it.
What a community. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And our closing hymn is 1017, Building a New Way.
Thank you.
curiosity lead us to building community. May the words we wrote on all these beautiful blocks become our actions and reality. And may we share our faith and shine our light in the world. Amen. Blessed be.